You've all seen the video. You need to make a statement that says this is unlawful, this is a crime, and if any of our officers does something like this, they're going to be arrested and prosecuted. First and foremost, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. I am honored to be part of this esteemed group. I consider many of you to be my teachers, including ustadha Zaynab Ansari. At first, I want to say that we all come from different backgrounds and experiences, so it's very difficult to come to a unified 100% agreement to what is the best approach, and that is okay. So every individual has in their mind what is the best approach, and they should pursue that approach with utmost vigor. But I'm going to comment about what's the worst possible thing we can do and hopefully avoid that. And in my opinion, the worst possible thing to do is to hyper-critique each other's agendas and each other's goals, so much so that we prevent anyone from progressing at all. So I caution myself first and foremost before any of you that in our effort to do what we can to help solve this problem, which we all agree is an institutional problem, it's not going to take a day, 2 days, weeks, months. It's going to take a long time because it is an institution that has reaped profit off of the lives of African Americans. So it's going to take a while. So the best way to critique bad behavior is to compliment good behavior. So I urge myself and all of us to compliment and support whichever agenda that you mostly identify with. So that's my first comment as to what's the worst thing that we can do. Inshallah, we all avoid that. So I'm going to share my 3 action items as to what I am going to do. Because looking at this huge problem, sometimes it seems as if it's a daunting feat that no matter what we do, we can't even make a dent into it. So I'm going to share with you all the 3 action items that inshallah I have put upon myself. Number 1, getting to know my neighbors. We have an African American neighbor 5 doors down. Alhamdulillah, I know them kind of casually, but actually going to them, sitting down with them, telling them about how I feel and asking them how they feel about what has happened, and to tell them that I am with you. That if you need anything from me, I hear you, I see you, I identify with you, and inshallah I'm going to stand with you. I mean, these are our neighbors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through his messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us over and over again how important it is that we take care of our neighbors. So that's action item number 1 for me. Number 2, alhamdulillah, we have so many great leaders and teachers in our group that all have platforms on social media, on websites. We should help one another, at least if we have a Twitter account, to retweet the comments that they have, to subscribe to their YouTube channels that we have. I just subscribed to Taysir Seminary when I heard ustadha Zaynab Ansari yesterday share her thoughts on George Floyd. So this is something internally that is very easy to do, to support one another, to spread awareness that, hey, there are leaders in our community. And this is something I have been neglectful with doing. So I'm hoping to improve upon myself before I tell any of you. We can strengthen ourselves internally by subscribing to YouTube channels or to follow the Twitter pages of our own leaders internally. So that's action item number 2. Actually, before I go to number 3, Sister Zaynab Ansari, in her video that I watched yesterday, talked about how sometimes even as Arabs, speaking in Arabic, we say words that are so racist, like referring to African Americans as abid, as slaves. That word is used so casually, and I am embarrassed to say that I have said it, not even thinking about it. But you know what? There's something else that we say. Referring to a beautiful woman, we say the phrase, and many Arabs know what I'm talking about, بيضة زي الثلج. Right? She is as white as snow, associating whiteness with beauty. Now that's also racist if you really think about it, because you're propping up the whiteness on a pedestal and at the same time you're referring to African Americans as abid. Subhanallah. So these things that we casually say, we have to first, inshallah, turn the microscope on ourselves and on our vocabulary and really think about what we're doing. You know, I have heard the words Afro-engineered to refer as a euphemism to something else. N-word rigged, right? So I had said this word before, and it wasn't until an African American lawyer came up to me privately and told me, you know, that's very racist. And he confronted me in a very gentle way. So sometimes this thing is not even identified within ourselves, and I remind myself to be more cautious of my vocabulary, and inshallah, if we do see these things in others, to privately take them to the side, inshallah, give them this lesson, this education lesson of how we are casually reinforcing this racism. As to action item number 3, I saw that the sheriff in Baldwin, city of Baldwin in Georgia, had released a statement on Facebook. I didn't see it anywhere else, of how he condemns the actions of Derek Chauvin, right? He just posted it on Facebook. It's not like a public record. But I'm thinking to myself, why isn't this a public record? Why isn't he putting out a statement that says this is criminal conduct? This is bad behavior by police. So I thought, well, I need to go to my chief of police and say, look, you've all seen the video. You need to make a statement that says this is unlawful, this is a crime, and if any of our officers does something like this, they're going to be arrested and prosecuted. Simple as that. So inshallah, that's something that I'm going to be doing this week, going there and saying, look, you have the evidence. You need to make a statement to your officers that this type of stuff is not going to be tolerated, and it needs to be made public. I encourage everyone to do this, to go with a group, maybe 3-4 people, ask for a meeting with their chief of police, the sheriff, and say, look, this is what we're asking. Are you on board or are you not? And I think that's going to be a launching pad for a lot of good conversation, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum. Good morning, people. I am sitting in my garage right now. I had just come back from the gym.